definitely do a recap, probably at like 12:50, like 10 minutes before. We should definitely switch to going back on our feet then, because this is a really cool, neat little thing that I've been playing with. And it was stubborn. It took me a long time to be able to spin something split time there. But there's so many possibilities that I'm really committed to getting. Like you can hit spin it from the ground, up to here, kick up into a handstand, stop it, let it come down. All this stuff. So, let's just start. Who here would describe themselves as a comfortable foot spinner on the ground? So, you know, we have a lot of you that are comfortable. Who would describe yourself as maybe like a beginning foot spinner? Who here has never spun a foot on their, or a hula hoop on their foot in their life like this? Awesome! So we have a whole different mix of levels. So I'm going to start just by breaking down what it's like to spin one hula hoop on your foot. And if you have already totally got that down, you can already start working on the split time stuff, which the split time stuff comes in where one's on your foot and the other one comes up to your ankle and you just push it and then see what happens. But for those of you who want some like the basics of foot spinning, it's you lie down on your back and stick it on your foot, just below the ball of your foot, I would say. And you basically just push it and start to wriggle your foot and try and keep the hoop spinning. So everybody just get on the ground, get well acquainted with that grass. I like this. All these people, like, I'm like, spin it on your foot, and then all of a sudden I have like 20 people doing it. Just like that. Your socks will give you fun. Man, you guys are a great bunch of foot spinners. Hey, that was great. For never having done it in your life, that was awesome.
For split time, do you start one at a time, do you say?
I do start one at a time for split time.
Okay. What do you do when it starts to go like wonky?
And I start one, I try lying on my back is the easiest way for me to start the split time. And getting one here. And your plane of this hula hoop is really important here, because if it gets all wonky, your hula hoops are gonna hit each other. So none of this like vertical stuff. You always want that nice, clean, horizontal plane. And it just comes right under your heel, and you give it a good big whack. And I've mentioned this with all of the limbs we've covered so far, but you can also practice by just doing the one on your ankle, and it's actually quite hard to try and keep one on your ankle like this because gravity is working against you.
Yeah,
You have to kind of find where your ankle tango happens with this hula hoop. Where ankle tango, where your like ankle is doing a perfect tango with the hula hoop and it's working.
Oh.
I know, that wasn't my best like
No, I love
it. It's super weird. Your foot almost does like a slight circular motion while it's on your ankle. You're really working hard though. It's like
Wow, how do you stop it
because
from
the
going
ankle
down?
is hard.
Yeah, it gets on there and then it just comes right back.
Gravity's telling you it has to do it. Honestly, when I started practicing this, I was just like, I bet this is possible. I'm just gonna keep practicing for hours. And like, thankfully, it ended up being possible. Otherwise, I would have just been wasting my time. But there's some really cool stuff you can do with this. I'm just gonna show you guys a move for inspiration that I don't always have down. It's the double neck to foot toss into split time, and it's like this. Oh, that sucked though. That was like bad. Did not catch it.
Do it again.
Again, you see the concept, but poor form on my part. My plane's out of whack. Thank you. I meant thank you guys, not what do you mean that sucked. big heckler, so like if I'm doing a move, I'm like, that actually wasn't that good.
When you're teaching a move that no one else could do, and you're like, oh, no, that's not good.
I'm gonna try it again now. See what happens. Yeah.
So badass.
Woo!
That's what you want.
Cool, like cartwheel right there.
This is great. Oh yeah, and also just like a foot spinning technique point of interest. If you're practicing it on your leg, and I see some of you doing this already, and it slides down, don't stop it. Try and get it with your other foot.
Okay.
It falls down, just skip it. Yeah, then you're working, try and work as many moves as you can in your practice.
What is your tip for when it starts to get off the horizontal plane? to make it
Oh,
straighter?
okay, so this is an important foot spinning thing right here, plane control. I have this one drill that I tell people to do where you start in the horizontal plane and then you try and switch into the vertical plane with your leg muscles or whatever. And then once you're vertical, you try and switch back into the horizontal plane. What I find my body's doing when that happens is that in the horizontal plane, my foot's going very much side to side, whereas in the vertical plane, my leg is almost bouncing up and down a little bit. I mean, it's mostly, the motion's like centered around my ankle, so my leg's not really bouncing up and down, but it's subtle, it's like with my foot. So you guys could all try that. That's like the best plane drill I've found. Over to where? Oh, into the different plane.
I can do it.
Yeah, you just gotta really like start bouncing the toes. Yeah, no, totally. If you're having trouble with the drill I just gave you, you can start it in the vertical so that you can really feel it. You know what, that looks great? You have got to come to my acro hooping workshop tomorrow. Okay, because we're going to learn like all these different foot things. But let me try something. I know this has nothing to do with what I'm teaching, but I'm going to try it anyways because Jamie just did it and it looked cool.
Yeah.
There's like this little thing you can do with it.
Exactly.
Oh, wait.
What? 2 feet?
Yeah, 2 feet. Each with one hula hoop. This is for tomorrow, though. I'm teaching acro hooping.
Nice.
So this is misplaced in my. So you see what I mean? You got it. Okay. So this is great. I just want to watch everybody keep trying to practice this stuff. Yeah.
What do you do when it falls from your ankle to your, or from your foot to your ankle to get it back to your foot?
Good.
To get it back to your foot. Let me see. You can try and, I think that, let me think. You can get your foot back in. It's kind of, it's really difficult. You can also do this where you
Switch it.
switch your
it back
foot,
on. That's what I was
switch
doing.
it,
Okay.
but it's definitely worth practicing to be like, okay, it's on my ankle. What has to happen for me to pop my foot back in?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the same idea where I think like it's easy to let this arm fall down, but to get it back up, your arm really has to work.
Yeah.
So anytime also that you're struggling with the mechanics of something on your foot, do it on your arm again, and it's a lot of the same type of motions happen. So it's just a good reference point too. Is looking at how your arm operates, because most of us are way more used to using our arms and our hands in mechanics. Working on your feet can be a very like new thing. Good foot? Okay, I'll show you real quick. Can you do this one? It starts with this one. Okay, so if you do that one, oh, you have to work on your other direction. Yeah, this way. So you just duck out and catch it.
Doing this. And you're super nervous. When that opening is towards your head, like the opening, you just pop
Have you gotten that with 2 to push the
How's everybody feeling with this? Does anybody want to learn? This is the last little bit of the workshop, so does anybody have any like special requests of any foot thing they want to learn, or?
Can you just show me the
Yeah, Jamie!
The 3B weave?
Yeah, that was awesome!
I cannot get it down. So it's like when this one is resting, his hands coming over the top.
Yeah, there's a drag hand and a thumb hand. And you have to just identify which one's your thumb hand and which one's your drag hand. And then you can always just be in that. So we can work on it later.
Yeah, but we just
something
something different. Looked like she was doing some kind of a stuff.
How do you
Kim, did you get the second one pushed on
For 3 weeks.
for your foot? No,
Oh,
for
for
the
the
foot.
spin? A little bit.
Uh-huh.
But I can't maintain it.
Can you do so you got it here. You just hold it with 2 hands and then
you mean
you
backwards?
just give it a push.
I got that, but then it just really fell down my leg.
That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
That's it. Yours, okay, you're pushing it the opposite way.
I see what you're saying. So I'm doing right hand over feet.
Right, and now try.
Yeah, so guys, should we do a recap really quick? Let's do that recap.
Yeah. Good.
You learned
I know, and then because I
That's the point. Hopefully everybody learned something in this class. Okay. So a recap, we started on our arms. If you're trying to ever think of what we learned, just think like we worked on 2 limbs and then 2 planes. So on our arms, we did this plane. I was spinning things split time. And we worked on our direction breaks here. Eventually, we're all going to be doing Eventually, we're all going to be doing anti-spins here. And always work that both directions on both arms.
I can walk on it.
And then
I just don't want to
on our arms, we also did this plane.
over the squat.
And remember how much awesome stuff you can do with that. All sorts of stuff. You get creative and just think, how many hula hoops can I do at once? And then on our legs, we worked on the basic body position of getting this one down. We did some hip pivots here for those of you filming. I'll do it to the side. Hip pivots. We also brought in our second hula hoop. Isolate. Split time. There's all this other stuff that we kind of played with here. Yeah. Oh, in this position too. Just escaped me by a little bit. That's why I actually carry around 6 hoops. Then we worked on our feet, learning how to do split time in the horizontal plane on our feet. And then, again, later on, we'll all be able to do this. Oops, it's falling, but it doesn't matter. So if it falls over, you can just stick it down here.
Yeah.
Then I wanted to just show you guys like some of the multiple hooping stuff for the eventuallys. I'm gonna try the 7 hoop arabesque. It might not work. I'm gonna take these 2 purple ones really quick because I need smaller ones. Okay. All right.
Totally done.
Okay. I have to. I always forget how to start this. So there's a lot to keep track of. Build up to that though. Hold on. 2, 4, 6. Oh yeah, remember I touched on this move. I didn't actually explain it. I was just like, you could do this. But this hip pivot. And that's where the 6-hoop Meriwether comes in. So you really see all the moves we worked on, how they're like building blocks. For lots of hula hoops at once.
And the 7th one you had right here.
Yeah, no, the 7th one was supposed to be split time on my foot.
Okay.
So, which would be awesome, right?
You're free.
Maybe by the end of the weekend if I practice that. So did you have any questions? Did I forget anything that we worked on?
Show the neck.
Oh, the neck to foot. Okay. Got this.
Oh, you're smart for that.
All right. There's this hula hooper that I've watched on YouTube named Sante, who's really, really cool. Awesome multiple hooper, but I jacked this trick from her. Not the split time. She just does it with, you can do it with one hoop too, so you don't have to do it two.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeehaw! I lose it though.
Yeah.
Come to Afro hooping tomorrow.
Yes.
Excited! Okay, I think that might be time. Or we can all practice here until it's time.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, so let's all practice here. I'm going to be here for the next 10 minutes so we can all practice. That'll be the end of the workshop with us. Dude, thank you so much. There's like so much good information. Cool. I'm glad everybody seemed to have fun. Yeah, it was a blast.
What are you going to do with it? You do?